Well, I know you're typically used to seeing a lush, beautiful fish room, and currently it looks like a disaster. This has been a project I have been planning for a long time. When I initially set up my fish room, I would say about 3 years ago, I really only thought I was gonna have this tank over here, but my love for the hobby rapidly expanded and I ended up setting up, I think, 5 tanks in here. We had the 55, the 40 gallon, we had the cube 30 gallon over there. At one point I even had a big tank on my desk. It got out of hand quickly and I saw all the comments of how could you have a fish room on carpet? And I quickly realized why everyone was saying that. It is very hard to not drip water all over carpet and it just doesn't really match a fish room aesthetic. So with all these tanks over the last month or so, Kyle and I have been planning tearing down all of these tanks, and we eventually turned it into the 125 gallon planted aquascape where we took all of these tanks and made a giant tank. So if you want to see that build, there's a full video on my channel. If you want, click the link down below and it'll take you to that video. That was a super fun project. But for today's project, I got Max here, I got Kyle here, and what we're gonna do is take out all of this stuff. We're gonna lay it out in my garage so I can sort through it all. We're gonna rip out the carpet. We're gonna go to Costco, get some new flooring to go in here to match the new UNS tanks we have to set up. And quick shout out, I wanna give a huge thank you to Oceanfloor out in Phoenix. They were able to help me source all of these UNS tanks and stands, which I didn't realize how hard they were to get, but they helped me out get them all. And without further ado, I just wanted to show you the process of taking my beginner style fish room and transforming it into a more professional, well thought out fish room. So we're gonna probably set the camera around, show you kind of everything we're working with, and Kyle and I are gonna start ripping and tearing this room apart. And hopefully by the end of this video, we'll have some nice flooring in here. We'll have all the new beautiful UNS tanks set up, and this room will be amazing. So let's get to it.
Yeah.
I'm currently thinking of that one meme where the guy's like, "Behold
My stuff."
Ooh.
One thing that's exciting about this is since there's so much stuff that I've been just collecting and buying and technically hoarding, if my wife were to, get asked about it, is when I go to set up all these new tanks, I'm gonna practically have everything I need besides some, random fish or maybe a cool stone or rock or two. But other than that, all these tanks are gonna go up like a breeze without spending a lot of money because I've just been hoarding all this amazing stuff. So the room, if you wanna come check it out, it's almost finished. We're getting all the smaller stuff out. I forgot that I have not cleaned out my cabinets in a while, so we're gonna have to take out all of that stuff like in here. One thing I've always done is just have a bunch of media or medications or fertilizers always on hand because it's just a big helpful when it comes to it. But this is going a lot faster than I was expecting, and Kyle's got a handful of stuff, so we'll keep on moving. Whoa, Max!
My bad.
What do we got here, Kyle?
Just some of the old plant lights from when the plant wall was in the room.
A bunch of stands you like.
Yeah.
Stuff. You really forget how much stuff you have until you rip it all out of your fish room.
Trips like around the world.
So it's a little bit more echoey in here because we were able to get everything cleaned out and we moved the cars out of the garage. What we're going to be doing is moving this tank and stand into the garage as well as these two. This tank and stand is going to be going to a friend of mine at a local high school, and this will be another video in a couple months where Kyle and I go to a high school and we're gonna be setting up this tank for a botanist teacher at a high school. I think that's gonna be a super fun project.
Really quick, has Kyle agreed to that yet, or did you just?
I always just loop Kyle in. He's part of it. He's a package deal now. If Kyle wants to say no, he can, but I just love doing everything with Kyle. It's been fun to just have someone to bounce ideas off with, and I think that'd be a fun project if you want to go.
I mean, yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it.
We're doing it. But yeah, that's what that's going to be for this tank. My mom's going to come pick this up to store it at her house because we don't have room here. And then Kyle's buddy is going to come pick up these 2 tanks and stands. And so they'll hopefully go out and live their life and get another scape in them. But for now, we got to get everything moved. So we're going to put the tanks on the ground, move the stands out, and then take the stands out, the tanks out into the garage. And it looks like Zeke's going to try to help. You're a good boy. Bang. I always forget how skinny 55 gallons are.
Yeah, they're
Teeny weeny. Is there anything to grab?
I
Nothing?
think you got this.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I'll probably
Put it right here. I guess we can move those. I can throw these away.
Those are no goods.
All right, 1 tank down, 2 more to go. Woo! Well, that was a lot, especially since now in Arizona it's about 100 degrees outside, but we were able to get all of the stuff off of the floor. I had some trim along the base of the walls here that had to get ripped out. We got the desk situated behind you. I'm gonna keep up the things you see on the wall. I might tackle organizing that top shelf there because that would be great real estate for some rocks and scaping materials and not just random junk. But yeah, beyond that, I think we're gonna make sure all the stuff's off the carpet. We're gonna start ripping that carpet out and it'll go very quickly. And I'm out of breath, man, let me catch it. And then we're also gonna play a fun game. So before you see the end of the carpet, I know a lot of people in the comments are saying, you know, I'm not smart for having a fish tank on, or a fish room on carpet. There's mold, there's mold, there's mold. So we're gonna take a little bet, the 3 of us and you guys watching, do you think there's gonna be mold underneath this carpet? Hopefully not. If there is, it won't be that big of a deal. We'll just spray it with some bleach, wipe it right off. But other than that, Kyle, we ready to break out your new tools and start ripping?
We are, man.
Let's get it, guys. All right, next step.
Start over there.
Moment of truth.
Yank
Moment
it.
of truth. Dang. Dang.
So yeah, then you just roll it up.
Roll it up like a little burrito.
Yeah, and then you're good to roll.
We're rolling, guys. Look at this. Woo! Woo!
There's a carpet blade right there they left under there the whole time.
Really?
Really wonderful. Yeah. it's
Hell
nice.
yeah.
Carpet guys are great.
Carpet guys are great. That's why you hire a Kyle.
I'll leave a drawing on your floor instead.
Do it.
Every floor I've ever
Carpet's
done.
coming out.
Perfect easy part.
Yeah, we'll see what it looks like underneath. Oh wow, that's kind of gnarly.
Holy
Yeah, that's gonna be a potential issue.
Uh-oh.
We'll see.
Is it like...
It's pretty bad, honestly.
It's pretty bad?
Yeah.
It seems like it's a little wonky.
Worst case scenario, what we can do is we can buy a bag of self-leveling concrete from Home Depot.
Yeah.
And float that edge over there and then just kind of like seam it together.
So it's bad, but you might know how to fix it.
Oh, I do know how to fix it, absolutely.
Okay.
We're not,
All right.
we're not scared.
I thought it was like bad as like we're...
Oh, no,
Okay.
no. We want to leave these 2 in here, Trev. Leave these 2 pieces in here. When I get all the tack strip up, I'll roll it up in these and nobody will get hurt by
Okay,
it.
so do the big one?
Yeah, just leave these 2 in
Oh,
here.
just these 2,
Yeah.
cool. It got so echoey in here.
Yeah.
Holy sh**. So far, no mold though.
Yeah.
So Kyle, did it come out pretty good?
It's a subfloor.
Yeah, it's a subfloor.
It's ready for floor.
All right, so we got the baseboards out, we got the carpet out, we got most of the pictures and stuff down. There's only a few things we have to touch up and repair. And the only like issue we ran into was that crack that we showed you earlier. But luckily Kyle's a pro and he knows how to kind of level that out so we can put the flooring on top of it, no problem. But now we're at the point where everything's laid out, organized, and now we're just gonna jump in the car, head over to Home Depot to get some spackling, get some scrapers, and get some self-leveling concrete. And then we'll go over to Costco, pick out our flooring. I'm gonna bring Kyle and Max over and my wife Mariah to pick out a color that everyone can kind of agree on. But beyond that, I think we're ready to rock and roll. My dude, all right, let's get it, guys.
Ace Hardware Trip.
Stuff and things. I am more comfortable in a fish store than I am in a hardware store, but that's why we have Max here and Kyle here to help us out.
Let me try the fish.
But I think this would look the best. What do you think?
That's gonna look good. It's got the pad on the back.
It's got the pad, and this is the cheapest option. The other option is this guy right here.
Yeah, these ones, I would just say
That'll
no.
look good too.
I like this too.
Those will both look really good.
And then this one, I think these two are too light.
Those two.
Yeah.
This one looks kind of bad, and this one kind of looks light.
Yeah, that one, it wouldn't look bad, but it would be very light.
Yeah.
That one is like
So and here's
3
what
times the expense.
this is what Mariah's saying is this one's way more per box.
Yeah.
This box only has 5 planks in it.
So what's
This
our
is-
square footage?
This is
15
way
square
less
feet?
money, and it has 10 planks per box.
Well,
Oh.
ultimately, like the number of planks per box doesn't matter. You're still buying the same number of square feet. But is
isn't
this
it
sold by the box?
It's sold by box.
It's sold by the box. Got it. That changes things.
So like, yeah, this does look all right.
It's kind
It's
of
gonna
dull
come,
though.
It's gonna come out
Yeah.
when
it's
you
very
put it
dull.
next to the
I like
orange.
this, like,
When you put it next to our orange tile, it's gonna look bad. Like our orange tile is gonna make it look more orange than the nice brown that it is.
Yeah.
Whereas this one has enough orange in it that it can still have its own color.
The light and dark on that's really
Yeah.
nice.
well, and
too.
I think this would match those natural wood UNS stands
yeah,
pretty good.
I think that's the better.
I do
floor.
think that those are prettier. I just, when I think about it next to our orange tile, I just think
The only
it's gonna be
thing
washed out.
there is a big difference between these two floors though. Is this one's a laminate wood flooring. It does say waterproof surface and watertight joints, but it's like a foam inside, whereas that one is a full waterproof vinyl floor. That's the plastic floor, quote unquote, and this is like this is definitely water susceptible
Yeah, it is.
material inside there. If you are super careful, it's great, but one big spill on this dude,
Yeah.
and that's gonna start like peeking the edges.
All right, guys, it's day 2, and as you can see, the whole entire room is out here in the hallway, and there's a lot to go through. What I was just telling Max, watch your step, what I was just telling Max and Kyle is with the room now being kind of bare bones and a little echoey, as you can hear, is I want to go back to having more of that gallery feel. I don't want it to be kind of like a hoarded mess that I built this room up to be. I want to make it more of a gallery. So the goal today is to take basically the bare needs. We're going to have obviously my desk here. We're going to have the UNS tanks up against this wall. And then anything that's left over and just not needed, we're just going to box up, get rid of, deal with it later. But as you can see here, what we did in the room was we were able to pour some self-leveling concrete to get this very even, so now our tanks won't be unlevel. We were able to clean up the wall, get it repainted. As you can see here, there used to be a lot of root damage on the wall from when I had the plant wall up here. We repainted it, patched a lot of holes, and just got this room looking good again to be able to turn into a gallery. And we have some really nice flooring. I know we got some shots at Costco. I think you saw what they looked like. I think it'll match the tanks very well. And overall, it's gonna go from kind of like a beginner style fish room to now we're transforming it into more of a gallery. And I know you've heard me say this before, the whole reason for this transformation is to have more manageable tanks that are easy to take care of, and also to be able to have smaller tanks that we can do a lot of recurring YouTube tutorials on. Because I've noticed, doing a tutorial on a huge 55 or 75 gallon isn't that attainable for a lot of people. But with these new 20 gallon UNS tanks, we can set up and tear those down in under a month. And it's easier for everyone to be able to set up a 20 gallon tank. So that's the goal. That's what we're doing today. And I'm excited to take you along this journey to see how we're transitioning the fish room into something, exciting, more professional. And, I just love being transparent, showing the process to all you guys, and showing you that, if you have just a couple friends, you can really do whatever you want, especially having a Kyle today. He's helping me out more than imaginable. He's hiding out over here. Hi, I'm Kyle. We'll get him one of those. But, just having good friends, having Max to video the whole process is just one of the best feelings ever, having a fun hobby, having friends with you, and just setting up, the room of your dreams is a very good feeling. And I'm happy that you guys are following along and watching the journey. I know it wasn't an aquascaping video, but this is building the foundation for much more aquascaping videos to come. So we're gonna have me stop yapping, and we're gonna get to building and setting some floors down and doing some baseboard and organizing the room. So let's get into it.
Open the garage and then get like half the material into the room, like in the closet.
Okay, so you want me to start moving the box of the floors into the room?
Let's get some in there.
Easy, I can do that. Are we live? Are we rolling? Mm-hmm. All right, so what we're doing is Kyle's definitely leading the show here because he's done this multiple times. We're just gonna start moving our flooring into the room so it's easier to do.
I don't know how much of my cutting you want to put on camera. It's kind of unsafe how I do it. Well, this is the piece that I need, right? So this one's gonna get cut off, but then this is too short to be a starter, but technically, like whatever you cut off on this side, you can use as like your next starter.
Okay.
You use that as
Which is
space
what I
for
did
this one.
for the next one, but the thing is like I can't use this because it's too short. So then the next one I'll probably like cut at about like this mark right here.
Okay. So you're also doing it so it's like kind of...
Well, you want to stagger these edges.
Staggering the
All
lines,
of these
yeah.
edges have to be like a minimum of like 6 inches apart.
Okay.
And then you also want to pay attention to not create like a bunch of H patterns. So the next one I'd want to cut, I don't want to cut it here because I don't want the seam on this row to be the same as this row here. So you kind of just keep stepping it around.
So you've done this before?
A few times. Probably put in like 1 million square feet of floor in my life.
Okay, well, that's why we got Kyle here.
We're just kind of hanging.
We're just kind of hanging around. Once we can get to decorating and getting the tanks unboxed, then, I'll shine. I promise. It's going great. Kyle's about to put one of the last pieces on for the main part of the floor. After we're done with that, we're gonna kind of get a little trim piece put up to get it to the door. And then right where Max is standing, we're gonna finish up the carpeted area, or where there used to be carpet in the closet. And then we can start organizing and designing. So Kyle's been absolutely killing it. I've felt useless throughout this whole part, but I've just been kind of holding the flashlight and helping the best I can. All right, so right now, while Kyle's finishing up the floor, I thought I'd get a jump on this absolute nightmare of just stuff. I am a little bit of a hoarder. I like to collect a whole bunch of trinkets and small little toys and just gifts I've gotten over the years. But I'm kind of wanting to move away from that. And I'm always a big believer on if you haven't thought about, an item or something you have in over a year, then you probably don't need it, or you can at least condense it into a bucket and throw it in the garage. And if you ever need it whatsoever down the road, it's in the bucket, safe in the garage. But what I want to do for my room is have it mainly just be for fish stuff. I want to be able to take, all my rocks, all my woods, sands, gravels, little, trinkets and stuff like that, just for fish stuff in my room. So right now, going through all my stuff, For example, this was a box from when I went to Star Citizen convention. If any of you gamers have played Star Citizen, you'll know what I'm talking about, but I don't need it in my room. I don't need it taking up space, and I want to declutter my room so when we make content in there, it's not just filled with a bunch of random objects and it looks like a clean gallery. So right now I'm just seeing like, I don't need any of this stuff readily accessible. So I'm gonna put some of my old trading cards, some of my old Star Citizen stuff, throw away some things. And doing this process makes you feel good. So I'm just gonna keep doing that, and let's see how it goes, and we'll get through it. Probably by the time Kyle's done with the flooring, then we can unbox and unwrap all the new UNS tanks. And that's what I'm really excited for, is seeing what that room looks like with all UNS rimless tanks. So let's get this clean and going. Kyle's mic'd up.
So, it's done.
The floor is done. All the pieces are in. I didn't have to swear too many times.
Not at all. I don't think I heard you say one cuss word.
I was quiet about it.
I was quiet about it.
So yeah, now we're just putting the baseboards on, and it's time to bring stuff in again.
Dude, the bright white looks really good, actually.
We'll see once it comes around this if it looks bad against this. If we have to, we can paint that on the inside so it all matches.
Throw up some masking tape, we'll be good.
Yeah, we should be just fine. But
now you can try out your new DeWalt tool.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cue the Home Depot music.
I'm sure
Din, 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 din. I love it.
I'll bring in the rest of the boards.
All right, cool. We're doing it.
You got it.
All right, so now the caulking is all done. We got the baseboards on, floors done. We just need to do one more little piece. But before we jump into that, I want to grab one of these tanks and stands, unbox it, and see what it looks like with the flooring and everything done. And then once we do that, then we can really start piling everything in. So let's try it out. Oh. The goal is to not drop one of these either.
Can we get a knife review?
Knife review. This is the Raven Crest Tactical, spring loaded. These are legal here in Arizona if you are curious, so I'm not breaking any laws here. But I do want to give a huge, massive, massive shout out to Oceanfloor. They were able to source all these for me so I could purchase them. It was a big help just being able to get them in bulk from Oceanfloor Aquariums out in Phoenix. If you guys want any UNS tanks, stands, equipment, they're always fully loaded with all of them. Every size, every stand you can imagine. And they're awesome people there. So go over to Oceanfloor if you need some UNS tanks and stands or gear. Highly recommend them. And thank you guys so much over at Oceanfloor for helping me get this done. Later on this year, we're going to be doing another tour of Oceanfloor. And I'm really excited to do that because they've made some good changes over there, and I'm excited to check them out. But now, I want to see what the best way. So what we did is we went with the wood finish on it. I just like the natural look of it. It brightens the room up instead of having a bunch of dark colors. You probably can't hear me as I'm ripping through this tape, but I think that looks very good. I love how that looks. And the awesome part I love about the UNS stands is it has a really nice handle right here. Has soft shut doors, and then on the sides here it has cutouts for your filter tubing, so you can have a filter sitting here and the CO2 and the hoses can come out the side really easily. But now let's get the tank on there. We can see what we're working with. Every UNS tank comes with a leveling mat on there. Don't throw these away, they're very useful. And there she is. Just like that, we'll do a little satisfying peel. Boom. Man, those are perfect. Just the right height to be able to get into, to work with. Good viewing angle. And the width is perfect to have. I think we're gonna do 3 of these exact same ones. Probably gonna do 1, 2, and then 3. We might have room for a corner tank over here, maybe. But then we have room up here to maybe hang something up. We can do ceiling lights. Opportunities are endless. We still have a lot of work to do in this room. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna try to get the boring parts done. And then once it's getting close to wrapping up, I'll take you guys on a little tour. Max is gonna have to go because it's been a long day. But what I'm gonna do is make it all nice and tidy in here, do my OCD thing, and then once we're all finished, I'll get my phone out and we'll do a nice little tour so you guys can see the finished result. But overall, you guys are gonna see it in all the videos coming up. You're gonna see it in all the tutorial videos, and you'll see it on all my Instagram pages. All right, guys, well, it's been a few days. We had a very productive weekend. It took way longer than expected, but normally when you're remodeling a room, that tends to happen. I was able to get all of the shelves and a couple cabinets organized, lay out all my product, and I just wanted to give you a quick tour of how everything's looking. So let me flip this camera around and let you see everything we got done, and I'll give you some insights onto some of the projects we're gonna be working on and just show you the layout and how everything is gonna look once it's full of life. So let's try it out. So if we step back here, you can see the floors we put in are beautiful. Kyle was able to help me get these laid perfectly. They look really good and they match the wood stands well enough to where they don't kind of blend into the stand, and it gives it kind of an offset thing. But before we get into the tanks, we'll just start, and go left or right to left here. I was able to get a nice little stand here for all of my API products. Have, Daphne up there watching over. Have some knickknacks, have some aquarium products and some odds and ends, have some tools down here. And then I'm thinking, since this fits so perfectly down here, this might be a little plant storage or a fish holding tank. If I ever need to quarantine new fish, that would be perfect. We got my desk set up back to where it has always been. It just fit perfectly there. Since this desk is just so big, it just fits perfect right there. We got a new little lava lamp. I just wanted to get a little lava lamp in my room again. I don't know why. It's been years since I've had one, but I just wanted to get one in the fish room to add a pop of color and interest, and that works great there. Moving on to the tanks, we got the 30-gallon cube here in the corner next to the desk. I really liked how it just fit up against to my desk. It's about the same height. So when I'm sitting in my chair, I can sit right here and just, be working away and look over at a big 30-gallon cube. I think that's gonna be awesome. The cool part about all of these tanks that we have set up is I was able to compile all of my gear. So every single tank already has all the equipment like filters, CO2, tubing, extension cords, timers, tools, inlets, outlets, lights. It's just all these tanks are ready to go. I was able to take my plants from the 240, my big trees, and fill out the 2 corners in the room. So you can see there's the umbrella and there's the fiddle fig. Fiddle fig, unfortunately, is not liking the transfer too much. He's getting a little droopy, but hopefully that one will come around. Up against the main wall, we have 3 of the UNS 20 gallons. I'm terrible at knowing what the UNS tank names are. I think these are the 60Us, but we have 3 of those. I feel like overall this just really gives it that gallery feel. Just having, a little mini little horseshoe of tanks right there just fits really nice. I'm eventually gonna put something up on this wall over here. But yeah, like I was saying, every single tank has the lights they need, has the mounts they need, has the equipment they need. So whenever I decide to start scaping these, I can just go into my garage, grab some wood, rocks, and just go to town. So we got another one here. We're gonna be trying out some glass lily pipes. Fingers crossed that I don't break those, but I've heard they're very good. Again, we got another 20-gallon with lights, filters, everything needed. I really love these UNS stands because they have this nice little thing here that you can just grab from easily. And then obviously it has the little UN logo on there. And then my favorite part, shuts real nice and slow. Over on this side, we're gonna have the Foresta set up again. It's been almost a year since I've had this up and going. I almost forgot that I had it in my closet, but all I did for that was just get a new stand, put the Foresta on it, and that's gonna be a nice little addition for this corner. I was able to get this cool little table here. I think I'm gonna use it as a mix of just odds and ends. We got medication down here. We got some cleaning and glue over here, some knickknacks, and then I'm gonna put some filter media and tube cleaning devices down there. And then hopefully on the top here, we're gonna have this little shallow tank here next to the Foresta, which will match really nicely. And then if there's enough room right here, I'm gonna put the kitchen table tank, and hopefully that'll look good and fit well. I think overall it'll just be real nice. But yeah, that is the room here. We were able to get her all finished up. We touched up all the walls, cleaned up all the root damage from the plant wall that was up there, which was kind of bad, but as you can see, we kind of just did little patches with paint there. Doesn't look terrible, but you know me, I had a lot of holes and stuff on the wall. But yeah, that was, let me turn this around. That was the fish room remodel, and I appreciate all of you guys for supporting and following along. I'm really excited to see what I can do with this room set up like this. Lots of tutorials, lots of fun videos, and overall just a better space to make videos. But thank you so much for staying and watching the little tour. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you as always.